All right. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming on here tonight. I really just wanted to be able to share my story with you, and not familiar, but hi. Hi. I really just wanted to be able to share my story with you. I know that there's many of you on here that maybe have heard parts of my story before, but there's a lot of really new people on here that haven't. And, my goal is if I can just inspire one person on here to not let fear get in the way of going after their dreams, then I will do this and come on here and be vulnerable in front of you guys. And I'm super nervous. If you haven't noticed already, I'm like sweating. So I just wanted to take the time to share this with you and hope, that you get some sort of inspiration from it. My story is my own, and some people may not find that there's, that it's eventful, but, I'm human and I go through tough times. And I like to think on social media that I'm pretty transparent, and I share my successes, but I share my struggles as well. And those of you who have been following me for the past 3 years will know that there has been some struggles. And so, I take a lot of inspiration from those of you that I follow and who I'm friends with on here. And whether you're teammates of mine, friends, family, or people that we've just connected through social media, I just want to say thank you very much to all of you for following me, for reaching out and connecting with me and getting to know me. Your support over the past couple of years has really meant a lot to me, and I'm just very grateful for that. So I have some notes in front of me just because I tend to get off topic and ramble. So if I'm looking away from the screen, that's why. I'm just going to introduce myself. So my name is Heather Duffy Lalonde. I live in Guelph, Ontario, and I have 4 daughters, and I'm married, and, life is just going really well right now. But, if I can share something with you, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, really, life was not like what it is now. Those of you who have been following know that I've been involved with a social selling company called Monat for 3 years. They're an anti-aging, naturally based hair care company, now skincare. And, I share on my social media my love for the products, my love for the company as a whole, and the people that I get to do business with. And it has been such a huge blessing in my life. And that's what I just want to share with you tonight, is just some of the ways that this business and this company has helped me. So like I said, 3 years ago, life was not like it is now. Even going back 5 years ago, I was coming out of a really tough separation. I was a single mom to 2 kids. I worked a full-time job, and I had basically lost all of my friends from my past relationship. My family doesn't live close by, so I really was alone in Guelph here by myself. And I was suffering from anxiety and depression quite a bit. And, it took a lot to get myself out of that dark hole that I was in, a lot of personal development. And, it's always going to be an ongoing struggle for me. But I met my husband, my now husband, and, we were in a place where we wanted to have a child. And so, life was definitely looking better. And after I had Parker, it was about 3 months into it when I was on maternity leave, that anxiety started to come back again, and I was feeling really anxious about returning to work. I remembered how I felt when I was working full-time with 2 kids, and I just couldn't comprehend how I was going to manage it with 3 kids now. I'm a physiotherapist of 16 years. I love my profession. I love what I do. At the time, I was working full-time in a hospital. And working in a hospital is very stressful. The healthcare system definitely isn't now what it used to be, even 10 years ago. It's very, very stressful. And so, working full time, although I loved my profession and I love what I do, I really, was feeling very stressed out with my job. And, something that I learned from a young age, and this was something that was ingrained in me, and I think for a lot of people can probably relate to this, is, I was taught, go to school, get a good job, get a job with benefits and a pension and, be set, and you just work until you're 65 and that's it. So that's what I was doing. That's kind of the plan that I was on. And that's all I really ever felt was possible for me, sadly enough. Don't get me wrong. I felt very fortunate that I had a good job and a stable income. But, there was times that I wondered, at what cost am I doing this? Is this really the lifestyle that I want to be living? I was spending every day away from my kids, and I was missing school concerts and class trips, all because I had to go to work every day. And, I just felt like, we weren't living life to our fullest potential. It was paying for us to get by, but I just really felt like there was more that I was meant to do. And, I just felt like I wasn't being the best mom that I could be either. And I was really worried about what it was going to be like throwing a third child into the mix, really. So the anxiety started to creep in, and I wasn't even aware that there was a solution right in front of my eyes. So I had started looking into Monat because I was 3 months postpartum and my hair was a disaster. It was dry, it was breaking, it was coming out in handfuls. Those of you who have had a baby know what postpartum hair loss and what postpartum hair is like. So a friend of mine sent me some samples of the shampoo and conditioner, and I loved it right away. I loved that, there was clinical studies backing it up, saying that it was going to grow my hair back more quickly, shinier, bouncier, healthier, all that good stuff. And I was sold on that. And it wasn't until my friend started talking about how she was actually making some pretty decent money selling the shampoo that the wheels started to turn. And I started to look into the company, and, I liked the fact that the company was debt-free and that they were sort of something unique in the social selling space. Now, I didn't know what social selling was back then. I was very skeptical of the whole MLM. I had that, pyramid scheme mentality. It was just ignorance, really. I just didn't know what it was. But yeah, I was just really intrigued by the company, and I started thinking about maybe this is something that I could do. Maybe this could help, just put a little bit of extra money in the bank account. But, the negative thoughts started to creep in, and I started to think, what are people going to think of me? Are they going to think that, I'm ridiculous for getting involved in this? Are they going to make fun of me? Are they going to think less of me? Am I going to just completely fail at it? All of those negative thoughts started to creep in, and the anxiety was getting worse. But I have to say, I had this gut feeling that I just had to do it. And that's all I can really boil it down to. It was literally a gut feeling. And it just told me to do it. And so, I followed my gut feeling, thinking maybe I could have enough money to pay for daycare costs, or, maybe we and my husband could go out on a date every now and then, just give us a little bit more money at the end of the month. So I joined the business. I started to learn and work right away. I'm the type of person that, when I start something, I go full force into it, and I don't, I do learn everything that I can. And you guys, people thought I was crazy. People that I worked with, my family, they all thought I was crazy, and many looked down on me. It's like it was somehow beneath me to sell shampoo. And it affected me, it really did. But as I immersed myself into the business, I started to think about what this opportunity could actually do for me. I started thinking, maybe I could make some extra money to pay for daycare. Maybe I could make some money that actually would allow me to work part-time instead of full-time and be at home with my kids more. Or maybe one day Roger won't have to work as much overtime. Or maybe we could actually save up and go on a family vacation that we've never done before. Things like that started to seem possible for me. And I have to say that dreaming big was never something that I was accustomed to. It just felt strange to think that, something big and amazing could happen to someone like me. But the thing is I was seeing it right before my very eyes with people in the company who were just regular people like me, were having these amazing things happen to them and changing their lives in such an amazing way. And they were no different than I was. So I was ready to not settle for a mediocre life anymore. I was ready to work hard, and I was ready to make my dreams come true. And I started not to care what other people thought. I had to not care what other people thought, because people were still throwing the negativity my way, and I just had to not care. I began to I started doing a lot of personal development, working on my strength and my confidence and my mindset. and I began to experience something totally unexpected. I started to see other people's lives changing, and it was all because of this opportunity that I had shared with them. And this was one of the coolest things that I recall about starting to become successful in this business, was seeing other people succeed. It really started to motivate me more than my own dreams did. And seeing other people be successful, it's not just about the money, it's about the relationships, it's about the people that you meet. And we're a sisterhood, and we are like family. I know a lot of you are on here tonight, and I just want to shout out to you. Thank you so much, because your support means everything to me. You don't even know, because I was so nervous coming on here tonight. So over the past 3 years, I've been able to accomplish quite a bit. I've been able to go on paid trips by the company. I've been to Bermuda, I've been to Las Vegas 3 times, Nashville, San Francisco. I've helped other people earn their free trips as well, which was amazing. I have a Cadillac in my driveway that is paid for by Monat. And, while I'm super proud of those accomplishments, if I had to tell you the number one impact that this business has had on my life, it would be freedom. And, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Remember that dream that I had of one day working part-time? Well, I had actually surpassed my physiotherapy income, my full-time physiotherapy income. So I knew that dream was going to come true. And I still had a lot of work to do. We had decided that I was going to stay at work, and that we were going to continue to pay off debt and start to just get a little bit ahead. And it was just nice that finally we had money left over at the end of the month. Well, things didn't really go as planned. So about 1.5 years ago, something happened that nearly broke me. My daughter came in to tell me, I remember it was late at night, and she came in to tell me some issues that were going on at school with her and her friends. And without getting into the details of it, the things that I learned that day just really shocked me and really sent me into that downward spiral of anxiety and depression. And my daughter's okay, she was okay, but just the circumstances and the situation around what was happening was just really disheartening. And it really set alarm bells off for me. And I had myself convinced that I was the worst mom ever, because I didn't recognize the signs sooner. And, I really started to allow that anxiety to take over. And it was one of the lowest times of my life, I have to say. So I tried to work, I tried to still go to my job, and, I realized that I was a mess, and I didn't feel like I could provide responsible care for my patients. And so it was a hard decision, but I decided that I was going to take a leave of absence from my job. And I had, some disability that I was able to do that with. And I started to immerse myself in some therapy and started to just build myself back up again. But the really unfortunate thing is that my employer was not supportive of me at all. And this just compounded and made things even worse for me. So my recovery was taking a little bit longer than, I thought. And I was doing the therapy, and I was, working and building myself back up again. But because my employer was really unsupportive, it just really made it difficult to think about going back to work there. So, I thought about whether or not I should go back, and I thought about whether, what my options were. But I had a very difficult decision to make. And once again, the fear just started to creep in at me, and I had a lot of voices telling me that I shouldn't leave the stability of my job, that, it'd be silly for me to give up a pension, and, that I should just stick it out. But, at the end of the day, I kept playing over and over in my head, at what cost is this important to me? And, is it going to cost me my health just to go back and have the stability of a pension? So, I was scared, but, I had to make a decision. And so I knew I still had a lot of work to do on myself going forward, but I felt so, it was one of the most difficult decisions that I've ever had to make, but I chose to quit my job. And like I said, I was scared and I was so unsure of what life was going to, how it was going to unfold, but it also felt so free. And it ended up being one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. And, I often think back about, 4 or 5 years ago, had this happened to me back then, I wouldn't have had any choice but to go back to work. I would have had to just stick it out and go back and be completely unhappy and not take care of myself. And so I am so grateful that I had options. And I always say money can't buy you happiness, but it can definitely offer you options. And that's really what was really important to me at this time. So I began to work my business full time. I focused on my health and my family. And I see my husband's watching. You just threw me off track there, babe. So I was just trying to be healthy and try to live the best life that I could. And, things may have caught us off guard and not gone as planned, but I am so grateful that I was able to make the choice that I did. I know that Monat came into my life for this reason. And that gut feeling that I had, there was just so much power behind it, more than I ever could have imagined. So, I know I'm talking really fast. So what does life look like for me today? Well, I did return to working as a physiotherapist. I am extremely happy that I was able to do that because it's something that is a part of me. It's what I love to do. And I really began to miss that part of me while I was off. But now I work a really flexible job. I'm a home care physiotherapist, so I go into people's homes and I help them with their injuries and their rehabilitation. I make my own schedule and I see as many or as few patients as I need to, depending on how crazy my life is at the time. And I'm doing things on my own terms, not because I have to, but because I want to. And I really found a great balance between my business and my passion and my family and my health. And, I'm always going to be a work in progress, but I feel like now I can embrace the challenges instead of letting fear and anxiety get the best of me. And I'm so excited for the future. So, with regards to Monat, there's just so many amazing things that I can say about this company. And right now, we are just in the midst of something extremely, such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity right now. They just launched their brand new skincare line earlier this month, which I'm really loving, and I can't wait to share with you guys my results. I'm just getting used to getting into a skincare routine, and I'm really loving what I'm seeing so far. They've also expanded their reach into 2 new countries. So they are now in Poland and Ireland, along with USA, Canada, and the UK. And they really are combining the best of the social selling world with the anti-aging beauty industry. And there is just so much more to come. Like, I just can't even, I'm so excited about it. We also have our emerging founders pool, which I was fortunate. I worked really hard and became an emerging founder back in April. So what that is it's a global profit sharing pool that people who are joining the company now and can be a part of. So usually profit shares are held for like the first people who get involved with the company, but they brought out a new founders pool that is for new people joining. So this is just a really exciting time to get involved. And right now, actually, you can earn, if you were to join before the end of tonight, then you can have the opportunity to earn 2 shares in the emerging founders pool. So that's really exciting. After tonight, it goes down to 1 share. So there's just a lot of really exciting things happens. Forbes says that the best time to join a company is in the midst of global expansion and when new products are launching. And we just did both. So that's really exciting. So the other thing that I'm really excited for is my professional career. Getting back in and starting to practice therapy again has been really, really rewarding for me. But something that I've always wanted to do is be able to give back to my community and to be able to offer services for people of low income, people that can't afford to go and pay for physiotherapy services, or people that don't have the benefits to be able to pay for them. And, this is a dream of mine to be able to start and maybe even go out on my own and start practicing and servicing my community in this way. And I'm just really excited because things are in the works right now, and I can't give too much details, but I'm just saying it's in the works. And had it not been for, that gut decision that I made 3 years ago and being able to set the wheels in motion of everything that's happened, then I wouldn't be at this point right now. I wouldn't be able to say to you that, this is something that is going to come into fruition. So I have some really exciting things in the works, and it's going to finally enable me to give back. And I really just want to make an impact in my community. And like I said, thanks to the freedom that I have now and the residual income that I have, I'm actually setting that plan into action. So if I can leave you with one final message, no matter where you are in life, no matter what people may say, stay true to yourself, but never stop being open to learn. Work hard and never give up on your dreams. Living a mediocre life does not have to be your reality. There are solutions for regular people like you and I, and we can actually make a bigger impact on our lives and on the lives of others. Believe in yourself and find something that you love to do, and the rest will just fall into place. I think a lot of people look at success as if it happens overnight, but there's always a journey, and you just have to trust in yourself and trust in the process that amazing things can happen. Opportunities are all around you, and they may not look like your dream job, but they can definitely get you closer to your dream job. I know if I had never followed my gut 3 years ago, then life would look entirely different for me. And I took a risk on something that I had no idea was going to change my life the way that it has. And I'm forever grateful. So not only has it provided me with the income to be able to work from home and still work part-time and do what I love, but the relationships that I have with my team and my amazing customers is just something so special to me. If you relate to my story, if there's just one thing that resonates with you, I just want you to know that there is hope. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. To my team, I absolutely love you. You have no idea how much you motivate me every single day. You give me a purpose with this business. I'm gonna cry. That is so much bigger than myself. And it just continues to inspire me every day to share this opportunity with as many people as I can, because I see the amazing things that come from it. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And if you know of anybody that you think could benefit from listening to this story, feel free. I invite you to share it, because it might just be exactly what they need to hear. So thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and God bless.